everybody, welcome back to my channel, Cummins Camping. I'm Matt, and I'm changing the oil in my car today. If you hear a noise out back, it's pumping the water off the pool right now too, so it might catch that a little bit. I don't know how well the phone audio works like that, but if that's what you hear, it's the pool pumping off. I just thought this was a good time, since I'm doing this down in an engine bay like this, give an update on what trouble lights I use and how they're holding up. I got 3 of them here. 2 of them are Astro. One of them's Astro branded, one of them's Cornwall branded, but they're both made by Astro. And then I got a snap-on light, and there is an off-brand of this light, so stay tuned there. I don't have the exact part number for it, but there is a aftermarket brand of this that looks exactly like it, and it pretty much is. First off, we have the Astro 40 SL. This is advertised as 410 lumens, and all of these lights take a USB, micro USB to charge them, so they're all the same there. This one says 410 lumens. It's got a little light on it, LED right here. When it's charged, when it's charging, it's red. When it's fully charged, it's green. And little dial there to turn it on, and it's adjustable. What I've noticed with this light, I like it. You get about 2 to 2.5 hours of charge time when it's fully on high. What I noticed with it is it hits a point with the light where you can still turn the dial and it does nothing. You can almost come halfway down before it starts changing it. So I try and keep it down. It seems like if you turn it all the way on, it takes more battery. But that's that light. Got a magnet on the bottom, a loop on the top, which is okay, but it's hard to find something to hang that on. It's not a hook, it's a loop. And this is adjustable. Tighten it or loosen it, and the magnet swivels. Just like that. When they're new, they come with a little pad on the bottom. They wear off pretty quick. I don't know if you could get new ones or not. I never worry about it. I mean, if you had to, you could put a piece of plastic in between, something like that. Pretty much everything I'm working on, I don't have to worry about it. So that's that. Really strong magnet. These lights, I don't think any of these lights would fall off a car if they were attached decent, unless they hit something and it knocks them off. But if they were attached to something completely on the magnet, I don't think these lights are going anywhere. In fact, I know a story of this light where it did that. Next we have the Astro Pneumatic. This may be a Cornwall part number. AS600WL, right there. But this is a Cornwall branded light. They sell this under several brands. I believe MAXXEON maybe has one. I know it's an Astro made light. There's a couple things I don't care for on this light. One of them is it's pretty much exactly the same as the 410. Pretty much the same magnet. Extremely strong magnet still. However, this one is not adjustable. So you can't tighten this nut. And I've had it to where you stick it on something and it would droop. So I try and find something. The good outweighs the bad on this light. But that's the only 2 bad things I can think of. And there's the hook is on the bottom right there, and it doesn't want to go back into place all the time, but there it did. It's on the bottom and it ratchets out. So that's your hook. There's no hook on the top, but on the top it's got a light on the end, which is nice, and that button is back here on the back side. Here's your dial, same way as the 410. This one's advertised at 450 lumens. It is definitely noticeably brighter than this light. The 450 is definitely brighter than the 410. However, about the same battery life, about 2 to 2.5 hours, and it's gone. The only plus side to this light, as far as the battery life, on the side of the light, right there, there's LEDs. As the battery dies, they go out. When it gets down to 1 and it's getting close to the end of the battery life, it flashes. The light stays lit, but it'll flash for a little bit and then the light will go out. It never gets dim. It won't get dim. It just flashes and then it just boom, it goes out. Done, you're done. That's those two lights, and look how thin. Funny. They're extremely thin. That has got to be a 1/4 inch. And they're all pretty close to the same. I think the 410 is just a shade thinner, but not by much. Where you can stick these lights down in spots, that is a huge plus. I mean, that is enormous. If you're working on any kind of car, truck, anything like that, even in the house, I mean, that's under the sinks. I mean, it's just, they're awesome lights. These are about, this one's coming down in price. I don't know what it is now. This one's still hanging around 70 bucks. This is probably 60. So not a whole lot of difference in price, but you can still get the 410 a little bit cheaper. And they're probably cheaper than that on like Amazon or eBay or something like that. But they're awesome lights. I love those things. The last one I have here, this is a Snap-on branded light. I'm going to apologize here because I don't have the part number for this guy. But this is their older style. They have a new style that's got a single, looks like a dot in the center. That's the LED. This was prior to that light. I like this light better. I just like the way it is. I like the power button is on the top. It's a high, a low, which low is what I use this light on. That's the huge plus to this. I mean, size difference for one thing. Much smaller. It's thicker though. It gives a more spread out light, I believe. But I believe this light's the brightest one out of the 3. I think this one's the brightest. On high, it lasts about 2 or 2.5 hours, about the same as the other two. On low, this light will go 8 hours. You could leave this on low for 8 hours. It won't go out. 8 hours, 7.5 to 8 hours, boom, it's just going to be done and it'll be out. But extremely bright. And I love this little light. It gets in some tight spots too. This magnet is about as strong as 1.5 of these. I don't know why. They're about the same weight. This may be just an ounce or two lighter, but not much. This light I've seen go on the frame of a semi-truck for 3 days and come back. Right in, on the outside, right behind a drive wheel, and it came back. It wasn't my light, it was a co-worker of mine. So I'm going to set you up here. I'm going to show you a little bit of demonstration on the car here, and maybe the truck. We'll see. We'll just do one or the other and set you up here, and we'll see how bright they are comparably. Okay, so I just have you set up on the truck here. You're looking at the intake there and the brake reservoir. I'm just going to start out like I did on the demonstration. Talking about, I'm going to start with the 40 SL. This is the 410 lumens, and let's see how bright it gets here. It's on. That's max brightness right there. See, I can still turn the dial. I'm almost halfway down, and then you start to see it dim. There's max brightness right there. See how you can stick this light so many spots. I'm not even sure the camera is picking up how bright these lights are. But that's the 40 SL, 410 lumens. Let's go to the 450 lumen Astro AS 600. Let's turn that one on. I hope that picks that up, because that is considerably brighter. And these just fit down in everywhere. I love these lights. And see, this one reacts a whole lot faster. And then here is that's the end light. It's pretty bright. I mean, you could stick that up in a hole somewhere and it's pretty bright. I like this light. Then we have the snap-on. There is high. It's really hard to tell the difference between the 450 and the snap-on light. I really don't think the snap-on is rated at 450 lumens. I don't remember the exact number, but there's low. And that's pretty bright for low. But to last as long as it does on a battery, one charge, this thing will last darn near 8 hours on low. So here's the other kicker. This light goes for about $70 on the truck. About $70, $75, maybe a little bit more even. There's an off brand of this light. Now, I bought one off of the Cornwall dealer that I have. 30 bucks. Less than half price, you can get an exact light just like the snap-on. So there you go. That's my little update. I've been running this light for a couple years now. The light isn't the greatest right now. I haven't turned the big lights back on. This light I've had for longer than the snap-on, so probably about 3 years or so. Still runs, still works good. I just brought this home because I had bought a couple other ones. I use these other two, this one and the snap-on I use at work. And this one I've had for almost a year now. And the only other thing about this light that I don't care for, it's blue. It's like a rubber. It's hard to keep clean. Other than that, it's a fantastic light. The feel is good, but it gets dirty and it's hard to keep clean. Hand cleaner is what I get this grease and stuff off with. Just regular hand soap, like industrial, like Gojo and stuff like that. That's how I get that off. It'll come right off, but it gets dirty again. So that's it. That's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to cut some of this down. I went pretty long, but I appreciate everybody watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.